Welcome back to the Hair of the Dog podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Begley, and today we are talking about how you can start to actually charge your worth. In today's episode, I'm breaking down all sorts of mental hacks and reframes that are going to help you take control of your business, charge what you're worth, and step out from behind that imposter syndrome. My guest, Emily Aarons, is an energy healer unlike any other, and you are going to love our conversation if you've ever felt a little bit hesitant to charge the rates that you want to charge. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Hair of the Dog podcast. If you're a pet photographer ready to make more money and start living a life by your design, you've come to the right place. And now, your host, pet photographer, travel addict, chocolate martini connoisseur, Nicole Begley.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hair of the Dog podcast. I'm your host, Nicole Begley. And today we have, oh my gosh, someone that I met years ago through just a divine intervention that has been a huge influence in my life. Emily Aarons, welcome to the Hair of the Dog podcast.
Thank you, Nicole. I feel like a warm hug has just wrapped itself around me. I'm so happy to be here, and dog people are my people, so this is the best.
I love it. I love it. You guys can't see, but Emily is currently wearing a shirt that says pets are people too. And I said that's very on brand for today's podcast.
Yes.
Oh, so Emily, yes, tell us a little bit about what you do, because you're an energy healer for female CEOs. And I mean, we talk a little bit about some woo here on the podcast, a little dipping a toe in here and there, but I'm sure a lot of my audience is like, an energy what now?
Yes, exactly. So I am sort of a unicorn in that I have been doing energy healing. I've been in practice for over 22 years. And on the other side of the coin, I have been running a business since I was literally 22 years old. Weird number, I guess. That's just happening. Just figure that out. So I've been doing energy healing a long time. I've been doing business a long time. And so I really was what I call a broke healer, wore the crown. I would run my business based on the strategies of the broke healers that came before me. And I was really broke because I was, maybe you can resonate with this, pricing myself based on what my neighbors were pricing them, constantly discounting myself. I mean, I was the discount queen. I would be like, would you like this healing? And oh no, would you like 30% off, actually?
Right.
I could
let me throw in this too. Oh, and okay, and one more thing. Oh, actually, I'm going to give you $20.
Right. I won't actually pay you. I'm so happy you're here. And I used all these principles that just kept me perpetually broke and just having just enough. And I felt like I was underserving and I was not valuing myself and my time. And then about 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago now, I had a total breakdown and I was like, there's got to be more than this. I had my son who was a year old at the time. He's now almost 7. And I was like, just praying, like, God, please help me. I know I'm here to serve at a higher level. I don't know how. I know I'm here to make an impact. I don't know how. And I would like to contribute financially to my family.
Right.
And my husband and I were just like, just fighting. And it was this constant conversation of like, when are you going to help contribute? Even though, by the way, I have a backyard farm with chickens, ducks, goats, sheep, and a dog. I was helping. I just wasn't bringing in money. And so what happened was essentially, I felt this calling inside of me to start just doing everything differently in my business. At the same time, I felt this like inner voice start to talk to me like, you've been doing spiritual work your whole life. I was that weirdo. You talk about woo. I was that weirdo in high school that I would save my money from babysitting and like my allowance to buy books on spirituality and crystals and healing and homeopathy. And like, I was this closet spiritual person. And so kind of simultaneously that 6 years ago, I had that prayer started to be answered in that I started to realize I need to do everything differently. And the thing I was the most afraid of was essentially waving my freak flag of saying, I have these spiritual gifts and these abilities. And now, mind you, I'd been doing healing work for 15 years. So like, It's not like a stretch to be like, oh, she does healing work and she's pretty intuitive. Cool. Like they are very tandem. Like,
right.
But in my head, I was like, if I tell people, they're going to completely leave me and I will die on the streets alone and broke. So all the fears. And then I finally just got the nudge internally, this like higher self voice that's like, just do it. Tell people. And so I started to tell people I'm intuitive, and God forbid I say the word psychic. That totally like made me constricted my chest, my throat. I was panicking. And then little by little, I started to increase my prices. I started to, instead of offering one-to-one, I started to offer one-to-many. And things that started to just shift in me, again, I started to do things differently. And I had this calling one day that I was like, in meditation, I'm just going to start listening to my meditation inside of my head and take action on it. Because the alternative was really the same.
More of the same.
They stuck and broke. Okay, I checked that box. Do not want that box. I would like something better. Thank you.
Right.
And so I had this meditation. And in my meditation, I felt this urge of like teaching entrepreneurs how to meditate. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. Now, in my mind, I'm also like, well, I don't have 19 certifications that say I can teach meditation. And I don't know. And like all of this imposter syndrome totally flooding my system. And I was starting to freak out. So what I did was I went outside for a walk. I'm like, I'm just going to breathe and everything's going to be okay. And on my little backyard adventure, I convinced myself not to do it. Like, okay, I had just posted I was going to do this class, delete it like it never happened. And I was
you
like,
had already made the announcement.
Yes, I made the announcement, and I'm going to.
Never mind. No, that was a typo. I don't know who did that. That wasn't me.
Right. I passed out. I blacked out. I don't know what happened. And so on my way back into my house, I was like, great. I have a plan. I'm going to delete everything like it never happened. In that exact moment, I saw on my railing to come back in my house a little ladybug. And for most people, they wouldn't even notice it. But for me, a ladybug was also significant because my friend who had passed away years ago, she always would visit me in the form of a ladybug.
Yeah.
And like, even as I say that, I get kind of a chill. And it was kind of like this inner knowing started to activate. That's like, you have to do it scared, just do it. And that was the beginning of my mastery, which is now my Mastery and Ascension membership. But at that point, I just was going to teach a few weeks of meditation.
Right.
And so at that point, things started to really significantly shift. So I noticed myself really attracting more female entrepreneurs, people who were saying things like, I'm feeling stuck. I'm having trouble raising my prices. I have imposter syndrome, things that I had also had that I had just a hot second ago started to overcome.
Right.
And so at this point now, I've been doing it for so long, and I absolutely love to help to clear the clutter that is blocking entrepreneurs from listening to that higher self and being able to take action in that in the appropriate manner to stay in alignment. So we all have this vision of our best life ever. Like, what's our most successful life, our family, whatever, every scenario. And that higher self shows you everything you need to know. The only problem is that most of us are living our lives habitually doing the same exact activities, not even consciously aware that it's going to keep us in the same holding pattern that we don't actually want to be in.
Right. Even with that higher self, like, you know, our kind of higher self goal for our life, I think a lot of people don't even know what that is, because so many times we ask people, hey, what are your goals? Whether it's your business or life. And even as business owners and, you know, the photographers that I work with, like, sure, they have like, oh, I want more clients, or I want more money, or I want my business to be more successful, but they don't actually have any concrete goals. You know, because you start to get down, well, how much more money, how many more clients, how much more successful, what does this look like? And then if you start to expand that out into other aspects of their life, then it gets like, oh, wait, I didn't think about anything for like my actual day-to-day life. It was just, I just wanted some more clients.
Right.
So
that's the biggest problem, Nicole, because most people are not setting goals because they are afraid that they will not hit them.
Right.
And if they don't hit them, then obviously it means that they are a piece of crap and that they're not good enough, that nobody wants their thing to begin with, and they should just quit and get a job.
Yeah.
And so we don't set goals because, oh gosh, if I don't hit them, it means all this other stuff. However, it's kind of like, and this comes up a lot with clients, is like, if you are sitting, let's say shooting darts or bow and arrow, how do you know when you hit the bullseye? Because it's on the thing in front of you, right?
You can see it.
It's so easy. You see it. And now I'm terrible at darts. So if I'm throwing it, it's like, that I hope to hit the board. But that's how we know. And so we are afraid of even setting up a target to begin with. So how do you know if what you do was working? Like, you could be doing things that are actually like a hair away from hitting that bullseye, but you have no idea because you didn't even make the bullseye to begin with. So you don't know if you're close or you're far away or you're a mile apart because you don't even set the goal to begin with. And that is a big block. And so here's what I want to share with you. And like, this is, I'm very transparent. In all of my online business, I've never once hit my goal. Whoa, holy, what? Now, this is a nearly 7-figure business, which I don't also talk about that. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Yeah. But this is not because I'm not successful. This is not because I can't sell my programs. It's because I have these wildly crazy, audacious goals that are from a deeper place within my heart. That is like, I'm here to impact the lives of millions of people. And so I shoot for the stars. I'm going for big air. And so when I don't hit it, I'm not like, oh, I didn't hit it, I'm so terrible. I'm like, did you even see what just happened this year? That was amazing. Right. And every year, so when I first got online and those prayers started to answer, I 10x'd my business. The year after that, I tripled my business. The year after that, I doubled. Like, I've never had a year where I was like status quo, 5% gains. Never. Right. Okay. So that's the benefit of going for big airs. You're going to maybe not hit that big goal, but you're going to get somewhere exponentially further than where you were when you didn't even have a goal. So that little caveat around sharing your numbers. So I have a little bit of a bone to pick about that too. This is also why I don't share it. Okay?
I love it. I love it. Because people, when you're talking about personal finances, business finances, a lot of people are just like get immediately uncomfortable and don't even want to go there.
Yeah. So that's also a big money block. Put your head in the sand. It's going to go away. A lot of business mentors lead with how much money their business is bringing in. I'm a multi-6, multi-7, whatever they call themselves. Now, I feel like that's innately flawed because when you say I'm at this level in business, for somebody who's listening to it and they're not at that level, they might internalize that, well, that means I'm not successful. And they also might internalize, well, the only basis for success is finances. And so I'm going to tell you, like, there are a lot of people who are at the top and everybody knows their names. We don't have to name them, but they are hustling their buns off and they are working. They have teams of like 40, 50 people and they are around the clock just going and grinding. I am sorry, but for me, that is not success because I wish to have a life where I can work 25 to 30 hours a week while making bank. Right. I would like to enjoy my children while they are young. I would like to go outside and play with my goats and let them nibble on my shirt and my pants.
I want to come play with your goats.
I would love for you to come. Like, they are so awesome.
I love goats. Fun fact, I used to train goats at Animal Kingdom when I was keeper there. And
oh my God.
They're like just dogs with hooves. They're hysterical.
Totally. We have this one Zeke who fun fact, we weren't going to get Zeke. Okay. We were going to get my husband's like, what if we get a couple of goats? And I'm like, well, we can't just get 2. What if one dies or something happens? Like, we'll just have a lone goat. We can't have that. We have to have at least 3. We got 5. And Zeke was the one that they were like the throw. They're like, you can just take him. I'm like, okay. And we didn't want to get him because he used to like jump up on us when he was this little baby kid. But honestly, he is the dog. He is like the leader. He is the most friendly. He is just the best.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. No, but what you're saying is 100% true, because a lot of people look at photographers' pricing and they just immediately make, what's the word I'm looking for? Just assumptions based on what they see online. They make assumptions on how busy they are based on what they're posting. They make assumptions on how profitable they are based on their pricing. They also make just they have no idea actually what goes into their business and how many hours certain photographers maybe are up editing like late at night because they don't have any workflow down. They're taking on too many clients or they're, seem busy on social, but they're not. And so people then feel bad about their own business because like this person's getting all the business, but in actuality, they are not even profitable.
Totally.
So yeah, I think we all just need to put blinders on all the other people and just put our head down and focus on our business and what we can do to serve more people.
Right. And so I would invite listeners to just take a hot second, because you have to understand in your heart, what is success to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does that look like and feel like? That's what your higher self is trying to like yell at you every day. Like, live your best life. And
hello.
Right. Yeah, she's yelling YOLO. So you have to tap into that for you, because for me, it might be different than it is for you. And so when you have that as your starting point, then you go, okay, and I can measure success in how much time do I have before and after my workday? Like I know for me, I drop off my son at daycare in the morning and I hike with my dog off leash in the woods because that makes my heart happy.
Right.
And it makes his heart happy too. And like everybody comes back home and we're all in a good energy. But like, I don't want to start my day at 3 a.m. and hustle and skip my morning routines and breakfast, because that does not feel good. So I want to create and cultivate my life in alignment to living my best life. And I don't have to have a Lamborghini and like designer handbags to live my best life. So, because for me, it's not what I want.
Right.
Like I've never really cared about designer handbags. So there are plenty of like money manifesting coaches that are like dripping in like designer everything. And I'm just like,
like, I'm over here with my goat.
Right. Exactly. It's like, or you could have a farm and be awesome instead. Like, I don't know. So I think it's good to understand what is important for you, what success is for you. And that a lot of that top line stuff, the Instagram stuff, what you assume about people is definitely not what is happening behind the scenes. And I have met people who boast about $1 million launches that cost them $1.2 million to run. So like,
I can do that math. It's the same math our government's doing.
Right. Borrow the 3, hold no.
Yeah. That actually, I love what you were saying about like what you value, because I think this becomes a huge money mindset, self-worth issue for photographers, because, as a pet photographer, it's not a need. Like no one needs to get pet photography in order to survive. So it is 100% a luxury purchase. And so people start to feel really just down on themselves and start to get all sorts of craziness in their head of like, this isn't worth it. How am I actually like saving the planet? Like whatever, this isn't important. No one's going to value this. Just all of those things, which when we talk about like designer handbags, like I get mad if I have to spend $30 on a purse at Target. In fact, I don't even think I have one. I just carry around my phone and my wallet and like drop them all the time, which is why I have this thick case on it.
Right. Same.
But like I will spend money on a really nice hotel or like a really nice experience or vacation because I value that.
Yeah. So I would like to address that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I came from like a moderate household, and I have friends who did too. I also have friends who came from nothing or who were homeless or who were in shelters.
Right.
And so we are constantly focusing on the lowest common denominator, the people who can't afford us, instead of looking just a hair other way and seeing the people who it makes their heart happy to know that they can invest in this thing for themselves and their family. Like I have made it. I can get a pet photographer. I have made it. I can invest in a nice hotel room. And that for them is like, you're doing them a disservice because they actually want to invest in something very special to create something extraordinary for themselves. And you're actually robbing them of that opportunity when you price yourself too low. And I think we have to understand that. And so when I go back to like my broke healer days, I could think of my healing sessions, and this is what a great like mindset shift for me is like, would you like to have 30% less healing today?
Right.
No, like, I would like 100%. That's what I would like to pay you for, because transformational work is different than transactional work.
Yeah.
And so I would even say pet photography is transformational work in that it helps build the bond with their pet. It gives them another experience. It's like something that they can have on their walls to be like, that's my baby.
Right.
You know, like we used to go to like Sears to get family photos. And then now people invest in photographers to beautifully photograph their family. Like, how is a pet not your family?
Right.
Like, it's part of the family and it is an investment and it's something that we can cherish forever. So I think it's so worth the investment. And think about all the people who you might be not considering when you're thinking of just discounting yourself or the low hanging, like the low price people can't afford it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people then start to get like they find, maybe someone that, their dog is sick or, they have all these other vet bills and maybe like, or somebody that just truly can't afford it at the moment. So then they just feel, oh God, almost guilty that they charge for someone else.
Yeah.
So is it a good idea? Like if you have this in your heart that you're like, man, I want to give back, like to create some sort of way that you can give back to those less fortunate, but not at the expense of discounting all of your services for everyone else. Like, how do you find that balance?
I think it's different for everybody. But again, it goes back to your core values. So for me, I know a portion of the proceeds that I make in my membership gets donated. I don't actually do a great job of telling people that, to be honest. I just give it. But what I would venture to say is there is an opportunity that you can look at to say, I don't have to help everybody.
Yeah.
It's not your responsibility. Other people's money is none of your business. So if you have an opportunity for people to invest in a whatever it is with you, that's their choice. You are not bringing a gun to somebody's head and forcing them to buy with you. This is not something like a life or death situation where like, oh my gosh, you better buy with me. You're not threatening somebody's life. Right. It's really, and so this comes back to selling with your heart and your soul. Because, and actually I just got together with some girlfriends and they're like, you are such a great salesperson. And I feel like you genuinely want to help people. I'm like, I do. I genuinely want people to have this tool or this thing. I genuinely, like, I can feel it. Yeah. And so when we're coming from a place of service, like you genuinely want people to have this transformation. It's okay if people say no. It's okay to tell people it just might not be the right time. Right. I mean, I have saved up for stuff because I couldn't afford it at the time. Why is this any different? I think that's very empowering for people to also learn how to talk to their customers to say, maybe this isn't the right time for you. And that's okay. I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to be taking clients. So when it is the right time for you, I would love to work with you and your dog or dogs. I've had people come back to me and they're like, oh, I finally signed up for your thing. I'm like, oh, I thought the money thing was an issue.
Yeah, right.
And they said, well, you know what? I realized I need to start putting myself first and to start doing things that make a difference for me. And that's why I did it. And, money just shows up miraculously. Sometimes it's because of a partner or spouse. They finally told them what they want. And the partner was like, oh yeah, here,
right,
have the money. If it makes so much to you, have it. They have gotten, this is like literally things have happened when people have invested in me. A random inheritance.
Yeah.
People whose past jobs forever ago suddenly reaches out and like, you have a 401k that needs to be cashed out instantly for the exact amount of this woman's program. Right. Like I've seen some crazy things happen only because that person decided that they wanted to do what was in their heart. And so I also say we attract the people to us that are ready.
Right.
I just had somebody reach out to me who wanted to do private one-on-one work. And generally, I work with people one-on-one who are at like a 7-figure plus level because it's a substantial investment. And when I came back to her with the package, she was like, oh my God, yes, I do want to do that. And I gave her the price and she was like, whoa, 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 I can't do this. Can we do part of this? And like, that would be X amount hourly. And I was like, hold up.
Right.
I am not an hourly therapist.
Right.
This is based on the transformation that you receive through my work and being inside of my container. And what I can say is it's very potent and very powerful. And if it's not the time, it's not the time. Like we can circle back in a few months.
Right.
But like, I'm not discounting myself or like calling myself like an hourly per hour therapist. Like that's not going to happen. So I feel like pet photographers could probably get into that loop too, where you can start to take your prices and divide it out by how many hours were worked. And it's like, no, stop. It's the value. You are innately valuable. You are innately worthy and you are the value, not per hour breakdown. It's not how it works.
Right. Yeah. It's so we get in our heads too, because you see all the new people, and I'm sure, well, gosh, every industry probably has this, where people are coming in and, there's not a big barrier to entry. You get a camera and all right, like learn how to get Photoshop for $10 a month and here we go. Yeah. And now I'm a pet photographer. So people are offering services for, like $150 for here's a session, here's all your images, where, for most of us running a boutique business, it's thousands of dollars for that sort of offering. And so we just get in our head of like, oh, no one's going to pay this when there's that. And, I always like to say too, that there's always room for excellent service. Yeah. And if you are doing $150 and like 10 clients a week, like you just can't offer the level of service when you take 3 clients a month. Totally. It's just not the same. Totally. So you're apples and oranges there for sure.
Yeah. And I think, again, we have to look at what's the goal? What is the goal? So if you don't set a goal and you keep your prices low and you're hustling and not making enough, this is a red flag to just like TV timeout. Let's just like pause right now. Because depending on when this comes out, we're kind of at the halfway through the year mark. Like it's not too late to set a goal, even if it is audacious, and be like, F it, I'm going for big air. Yep. I don't even care. I just want to see what happens. Another strategy I kind of look at is like, there are people out there double, triple, quadruple your rate. So do you want to be the Walmart of your industry, or do you want to be the top of your game? And
I think they want to be the top of the game, but they feel like I don't have the certification. I don't have the experience. I don't have like the mayor of Photographyville has not come down and blessed me saying that I am one of the best and I deserve to charge this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, another thing I do sometimes, because again, I am a woman and I understand there's a dramatic difference between how women think and how men think. There was, I want to say, I don't think it was Hewlett Packard. I forget what company it was, but they did a study based on like women going for promotions versus men going for promotions. And women would only go for a promotion if they were 100% qualified versus men going up for promotions, even if they were like 60% qualified.
Right.
And so this is the thing. It's a mindset shift. So when I think about myself, even pitching to be on podcasts, I might think, well, who am I to even do that? I've just barely made a name for myself and these people are blah. Well, okay, what would a guy do right now?
Right.
Like that in itself, like they would be like, I'm qualified. I have a voice and a microphone. Let's do this. End. Like you need to sometimes just like slap yourself around and be like, listen, I am the value. I can do this. I'm qualified. And just be that. Like that's enough.
Yeah. What is it in women's brains that causes us to like be so concerned about this?
I mean, technically, it's been passed down through generations. There are scientific studies that show in lab rats that the trauma that great-grandparents have endured that has been passed down, even if the great-grandchildren have never received that negative stimulus. And so it is literally generational curses. And so we have this in our DNA. We cannot help it. It's not something that we're consciously aware of usually. We just know we have to speak when spoken to, be a good girl, do the right thing, follow rules. And frankly, I think most of us have gone through some sort of public education of some variety. Right. And so remember, those models are set up for us to sit in a job for 9 to 5 and not to, just like, don't mess anything up.
Yep.
Stay
Go
the
to the
course.
factory.
Yes, exactly. And so like, if we've sort of been programmed our whole life not to be disruptors, and now we're like, okay, I'm an entrepreneur and there's no rules. We're like,
go out and make some business and get people to spend thousands of dollars on photos of their dog.
Right.
And without feeling bad about yourself.
Right. And I just read this really great book on people who are empaths. And I'll have to look up the name of it, but she does do a fair amount of discussion towards the end around these thoughts. It's called Sensitive is the New Strong.
Oh, I've heard of this.
It's quite Anita Moorjani. She had a near-death experience.
Yes. Yeah. Dying to Be Me. That book was incredible.
Yes. Yeah. So, she talks about sensitives where it's like we have these innate gifts and abilities, but for some reason we think it's not right to share them. It's like, what? You can only make money doing things that are evil and malicious? Like, what?
Right.
Like, what is better than your beautiful dog on your wall? Like, come on.
Right.
And so like I am your demographic. I am your soulmate client. I'm the person who my dog is my third child. He's my baby. Right. And I invested we had 3 previous dogs. Our last one, who was my baby originally, he passed in last August. And I invested in a home hospice, a veterinary hospice to come to the house, which was exponentially a higher investment.
Right.
And my husband and I both had such an amazing experience that we're like, we'll never do anything else. And that's the thing is like, I think that pet photographers who aren't charging the value are also undermining themselves and the love that gets transferred through their work, and these pets are not just pets, and they live so much in our heart, even past when they've gone. And so it's like to be able to look at those images and to remember all the memories, it's like if you think that you're not giving somebody that transformation, you're absolutely out of your mind. You're absolutely out of your mind. The work that you do is so valuable and people cherish it. So I want people to remember that they are very special.
I love it. You guys, you might have to go rewind and listen to that a few more times so you can internalize it. And yes.
Also, I am the pet photographer. By the way, spoiler alert, I am the person who tells you you're worthy enough. So like now you got the stamp of approval from me.
Okay, there you go. You are waiting for someone to say you are worthy. Here it is. Emily has just stamped your worthiness certificate that you are worthy.
Yes. Signed and notarized. You're welcome.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So if they're out there, people are like thinking like, all right, I can do this. I mean, and they look at it and they're like, I really need to raise my prices a lot.
Yes.
Do you think they're just like, is it like ripping off a Band-Aid? You just kind of do it and then just change your marketing to find the right people? Or do they have to like dip into the pool slowly?
Hey, everybody's different and I'm not the boss of you. I'll say that.
Yeah.
However, what I have noticed is when you just are able to ground yourself in your own trust and your value, understand the transformation you give. And again, this is with your heart, not with your head. So in your heart, there might be a part of you that's like, you need to increase it by X amount of dollars. And this voice has been nagging at you for God knows how long. It's been kind of reminding you, hey, you're undercharging. Or if you go to your photo sessions with a little bit of resentment in your system, you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I cut off my Saturday for this. You're like, oh, I'm only making blah. If you've ever said any of those things,
right?
It is time. It is time. It is beyond time. And so I also want to invite you to think about how it feels on the receiving end of somebody who resents coming to do a job for you.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you. Because truthfully, like, again, I would do healing sessions. Like, imagine trying to just like relax your stuff for the day. And somebody's like, I don't even want to be here. I can't believe I'm only charging this. You're like, here you go. Let me just rub that into your back. And
right.
that sucks. Right?
Yep.
That's awful. That's awful. And so not a good way to feel. Like, can you imagine having like a hangout with a good friend and they don't even want to be there? You're like,
Right.
ugh, gross.
Here's the dinner and they're just staring at their phone, not even looking at you.
and if you think for a second that they don't pick up on that, you're insane. You're insane. There are studies that show within 3 seconds of walking into a room, people can feel the energy of the space. So whether you call yourself intuitive or sensitive or not, people can feel it. You cannot throw on some makeup and grab your fancy camera and show up in that energy without them feeling that. And that's why they're not, that is why they're not rebooking. That is why they're not referring people to you, because your energy sucks. So to increase your prices, yes, I do believe it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. Effective immediately, wording like that. Own your power, ground yourself. Sometimes even like a deep squatting position to open up your base chakra. Now, this is a little woo for some folks. Open up your base chakra, root down in your feet, root down into your power center, root into your belly, feel into your heart. Like, this is a full body experience. Like, I am worthy. So if I were worthy, what would I charge? If I knew, so imagine this, if there was your business front door and it was line of people who want to work with you, a line. I'm not just talking about 2 or 3 people. I'm talking about like hundreds of people in a line at your door, just waiting to work with you. If you knew people were there waiting for you and they would pay you whatever, they all had just like this giant stack of coins and cash. They're like, just like whatever it is, we'll pay you for it. So if you knew they would pay whatever your price was, what's that instinct when it clicks in? What is that instinct of like how much you wish you could charge for what you do? And so just like write that down and just like let go. But if you were able to charge what you're worthy of, the next fear is, well, what if I can't deliver? Like, what if I'm not delivering at that $3,000 level or whatever the price is? I guarantee you, your resentment just magically drifts away, and instantaneously you are able to serve at a higher level. I guarantee you could now have the funding to upgrade your lens or to rent new lenses, new equipment. You will have the income to then show up at a higher level because you're like, I am a boss, man. I am making bank on this. Like, look at me. And this is only a couple hours of my day. Look at me go. Like, your whole vibe is different. And so think about that interaction now. Like, people are just like loving your energy. So when you say effective immediately, my price is increasing, whatever, 20% or from this to that. That is like you just fully taking ownership. Now, of course, the next fear is, well, what if my business just dries up and I die on the loan like I had?
Right.
So that will happen. Some people will say like, okay, Nicole, I can't afford you now. And you can go, okay, well, thank you. I really appreciate the time we've had together. Right now, I'm prioritizing serving my customers at my highest level. And I sadly realized that at those prices, I was undercharging and I really wasn't doing my full potential. And so I like, if you're soul focused, and I actually just helped somebody who's a hairstylist with literally wording for her to give to her customers to basically say like, my sole focus is to serve you at my highest level. And so that's what I'm here to do. And I understand, I totally honor if this is no longer a fit, and I wish you all the best. What will then happen, and it might not be instantaneous, but sometimes it is. Spoiler alert, sometimes the second you make the decision, not even write it, not even post it, not even email it, the moment you make the decision, you're going to charge your value. Somebody from out of nowhere reaches out and they're like, Nicole, I found you on Instagram or I found your email somewhere and I would love to work with you. Do you have anything this weekend or next week? And you're like, as a matter of fact, I do. Here's my new prices. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's it?
Yeah, right.
And you're like, are you kidding me? I was waiting all those years to raise our prices and this person comes along and she says it's a good deal. What the hell? That's what's going to happen, is that there's always the person who cannot afford it, but there is a lineup at your door of folks who can, and they are happy to pay you your prices. I call that a soulmate client, the people who love to work with you, you love to work with them, and they will be glad to pay you for your services.
Yeah. No, I love that. And along that same kind of energy aspect of it is, I think a lot of times people go wrong in the energy of marketing because they are always asking, all right, what's the trick? What's the secret? What's this? I just need the how. I just need the do. But it's not what you do. It's so much more of that energy of how you are approaching that marketing process and putting yourself out there that actually attracts the people.
Yes.
So how can you stay in this positive, good energy, abundant place when you're marketing before you've seen those people start to come? Because that conscious mind can very easily be like, see, sucker.
Yes.
Not working.
Yes. So I think it's a great question. And the whole thing is about energy. So if we can connect from heart to heart, our heart to our soulmate client's heart, again, the one who loves to work with you, loves to refer people, will pay you your prices. When we can connect with that person on a deep level and just ask them, what do you need to hear from me today to say yes? How can I best educate you on my offerings? What is it that would really make your day? What would make you smile today? And connecting from that level, and literally that's what you put out there. So whenever I'm writing emails or captions or basically anything that I do, not basically, literally everything I do, I am connecting on a deep level from heart to heart and really connecting with what is it they need to me? How can I serve you? I am 100% about how can I serve you at my highest level? And so when you can connect from that place, you can start to get the messaging of your marketing. You can start to innovate, because ultimately, when you connect from that place in your heart, you're going to start doing things you've never done, or you're going to start noticing maybe patterns or trends that you never noticed before. And like, oh, hey, I could do it that way. I could do that. Okay, I could try this other thing. And frankly, most people don't like marketing themselves because they have to sell themselves. They also feel a little sleazy with that. And it doesn't have to be sleazy if you're coming from your heart. So like you said, oh, I love your sweatshirt, so on brand. I could have been like, oh, I got it at such and such store, da, 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 and tell you all about it. Is that me being sleazy and selling? No. You're like, that's a cute sweatshirt. And I just told you where to get it. Like, that's all this is, people. That's all this is. Like, it's not more than that. Like someone, oh, those are super cute dogs. Like, oh, well, I'm a pet photographer. So like, this is what I do. I love pets. And you're like, what? That's so cool. And you're like, yeah, great. You want to work with me? Cool.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's all it has to be. Like, we don't have to overcomplicate it. So honestly, I know it's hard when the people aren't there physically. That's why we have to lean on the energetics, calling them in. I have a meditation called Attracting Your Soulmate Clients. And the meditation walks you through opening up your heart and connecting to all the people around the planet who resonate with that same energy, lighting it up and just drawing them in like a little tractor beam. And so you can do that in your own time too. Like every day you can add a new little morning habit. So you get up, maybe you don't go outside, maybe you just get up and have a cup of coffee. So as you're scooping your coffee grounds, you can just be like, I'm so grateful that I'm attracting these new clients into my practice. This is so awesome.
Yeah.
That little bit of gratitude and that forward projection is wonderful. And then if you have maybe 1 minute to just sit and call in the next soulmate clients, the people who are ready to say yes to you right now, who are ready to work with you. Simple exercises like that truly take next to no effort and do have a positive result. So it's hard to put yourself in that position, but honestly, if I can do it, literally anybody can. If I was this like crazy broke healer for 15 years and literally turned it all around, anybody can do this. It's just a choice. And so we have to stop being victims of our own circumstances. Because like now this is like the spirit dope slap. This is like,
I love it. Let's do it. We need to hear it.
Okay. Harsh, unwelcome opinion is that when we're making money, or if we're complaining about not having money, we are being victims to our circumstances. And so whether you identify this or not, whether you make money or you're not making money. They're both a choice. So if you're not making money this week or this month or whatever, you're choosing not to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And just before we hopped on, you were talking about, you know what, I have these I noticed my courses are like not really doing what they were doing. And you're like, I think I will now sell them. It's like,
right. I haven't actually made any offers in a quarter or 3 months.
like that is fully taking responsibility for your circumstances, right? We look around, so I'm not making money. Well, whose job is it to make your business money? Like, can we look in the mirror? Like, it is your job. So you're either choosing to make money or choosing not to make money. So what if, here's another little challenge. What if I challenged you to make $1,000 this week? Like $1,000. So think of all the things that you sell. How would they add up to $1,000? Or is that not even like your minimum thing is $3,000 and you just hit it? Way to go. Right. So how can you challenge yourself to make $1,000 this week? So if you had to, and so where I started to get myself into the mindset of making money, I would be like, if my children's life depended on this, like, would I actually do it? Oh my God. Like that's for me. That might not be your style, but for me, I was like, I need to giddy up and go. Like, I need to do something. And another visual came through with a client recently, and it was the visual of the Play-Doh Fun Factory. So we've all probably heard of or played with the Play-Doh Fun Factory, right? You take the Play-Doh, you work it, you smush it through the little hole, and you press down the lever, and out comes Play-Doh noodles. Well, it takes effort. The noodles don't just like stream out of the Fun Factory. You have to put in effort and put it in, and then use your own manpower, woman power, and there come the noodles. So you have to make money. You have to make the money. Like, it doesn't just manifest into your bank account like some spiritual folks believe. You have to make it. So you just said, okay, well, I'm going to go sell my course. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll sell some VIP days. Okay, those sold. Okay, next. Like, just make it.
Right. Yeah. And truly the offers are, you're not forcing anyone when you make an offer. You're just saying, hey, this is available. Did you know?
Right. Yeah. And with that hairstylist, I gave her this line after she takes the cape off. I say, do you need any shampoo or conditioner today?
Right.
Like, for her a few weeks ago, that was like, I could not bother her and hold that gun to their head.
Right.
After our sessions, she was like, that's easy. Like, great. An extra $80 upsell. You're welcome. You just increased your revenue another 5% over the course of the year. Like, okay. Not painful? Because I gave her the story. I was at the car dealership getting an oil change. And of course, what they do is they come back and they go, we took a look at everything and your windshield wipers are streaking. Do you want to replace those? It's going to be X amount of dollars. Oh, and we also noticed that your air filters are getting a little, would you like to replace those? And so they just give you the option. So if you think of it in somebody else's industry, they're just offering options. And I was like, yes to the windshield wipers. We'll wait till after summer when we really royally fill those filters up. And we'll do it in the fall. So I already, in my mind, said yes to this and no to that. Were they pushy? Were they salesy? Did it feel terrible? Did I feel pressured? No.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
That's what I always say too. Like, you go out to eat and the waiter, waitress, server comes over and asks, a beautiful dessert tray and asks if you'd like some, you're not going to like slam it out of their hands and be like, what the hell? Why are you asking me that? You're so rude. Like,
I was here for dinner and now you're offering me dessert.
Right. It's either, I wasn't planning on it, but that looks amazing. So yes, or no, thank you. Like,
so simple.
It's so easy. And it doesn't have to be like, no one, hopefully. And if you are, that speaks more on that person than the server. Like, no one's judging the server is coming over to offer you dessert. So no one's going to be judging you during, when you're showing the pictures of their dog, and you're like, hey, you know what most of my clients love to do with all these other images you love? They love to put them in albums. Would you like to take a look? Here,
Oh my
like you're
gosh,
just
yes.
offering.
Yes. Because then they don't have to sit in this digital purgatory.
Right.
You're like never going to look at them again. Like what a cute little coffee table book that we can make for you.
Yep.
Oh, and I don't have to do anything because
Yep.
like everybody wants to go to CVS and print up about a book. But who actually does that? No one.
You know where I am on my yearly make a book of pictures of my family?
Nah.
My son will be 12 this summer, and I think he might have been born in the last one I printed.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so like here's like a great idea right here, Nicole. Here's a perfect. What if you circle back to all of your customers over the last 2 years and just send an email and be like, "Hey, how is that album coming? Did you ever get around to it? If not, I have a special right now where I can take all of your photos and make you a very special album. Would you like to take advantage of this deal? It's only available for the next 3 days. Bada boom.
I love it. There you go, guys. There's your $1,000 and plus some. So
you're welcome.
You can go ahead and go do that right now.
I want to hear from all of your listeners like, I just made bank because I listened to your episode.
I just sold like 8 albums today. Woo woo.
Right.
Yeah.
And it feels so good. And also money loves money. So even if you do some little like deals, little cash injections, it's like it gives you that oomph so that you can go make some more of it. So, you know, even if it were a little bit of a deal, like don't shame yourself for doing a little deal. Like a little bit's better than nothing.
Right.
So like I have digital products that I had my third year podcast anniversary. And I was like, they're literally collecting digital dust. I'm not selling at many of them. So like, what if I just bundled them together and offered them as like a special promo price?
Right.
Like not selling them anyway. So like, and I sold like 30. I was like, well, that was cool.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't feel like I was gypping myself. I felt like I was doing a solid for my customers who were fans of the podcast.
Yeah.
So it's what works for you.
I love it. I love it. The key is to take action. And also truly, I mean, the key, and I was hesitant at first, like, you know, so busy and so type A and your head's boop, 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 boop. Like, I don't know. Silence is terrifying.
Yes.
Better now, but like used to be the scariest thing on the planet.
Totally.
So just being able to like slow down, and you're never actually going to hear that intuitive voice or that kind of, you know, just that nudge of which direction you should go if you don't just shut the F up every now and again.
Turns out you have to stop moving once in a while.
Right. It's really hard from someone here that's addicted to all the things. But anyway, Emily, you are definitely one of the people that has helped me do that so much over the past several years. And I know you can help all of our people listening to Hair of the Dog Academy podcast here too. So let them know where they can find you.
Yes, I would love that. And thank you for that compliment. I fully received that. They can find me right on my website, has all of my links as well as my Abundance Power Do. It's a free meditation to my favorite meditations to clear abundance blocks and open you up for more wealth. EmilyAarons.com. And I typically like to hang out more on Instagram. So if you're still listening, which I'm sure you are, I would love it if you DM me on Instagram and be like, I love that episode and here's this money that I'm going to be making now. I would love to hear that. And of course, you know, to leave a review for Nicole, because that's the best compliment any podcaster can possibly get. So make sure, give us a little shout out. Yes.
I love it. Yeah. So real quick, just a quick story from when I very first met you back at a Next Level event many years ago, where you led a group meditation. And it was literally the first time where like went through a meditation. I was like, oh my God, what was that? And it felt like it was about 3 minutes and it was 20.
Yeah.
And I remember afterwards too, just like, it was so vivid. And you were talking about like the next launch, and back before I had the membership and I was selling my business course, and you know, and you didn't lead on at all. But I remember telling you afterwards that I had like a vision of shining a light for 150 people, which was like my launch goal for the next time. And then afterwards, as I got to know you, I realized, oh my gosh, you use that like shine light, that light piece is so much of it. And I was like, whoa. That did not come from like inside my head.
Right?
It was the coolest thing ever. So ever since I've been addicted and
Thank you.
You're in my ears regularly.
I'm so glad. And I think that's the best compliment. I get that all the time to people, either they could never meditate before or they never meditated like that. And,
right.
And I think that's the biggest difference is with the infusion of energy healing and moving things, it's it just activates different parts of your brain, your energy field. It's oh my gosh, it's just different. It's just so different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
all right.
you.
So you guys all have to go download those free meditations and give it a whirl and just sit and try.
Thank you.
Emily, thank you so much. This has been such a great conversation. And I know everyone's going to love it. And it was great to see you again.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. See you next week. Thanks for listening to the Hair of the Dog podcast. This was episode number 146. If you want to check out the show notes for access to any of the resources that we mentioned, simply go to www.hairofthedogacademy.com/146.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Hair of the Dog Podcast. If you enjoyed this show, please take a minute to leave a review. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our upcoming episodes. One last thing, if you are ready to dive into more resources, head over to our website at www.hairofthedogacademy.com. Thanks for being a part of this pet photography community.